today in London. Clinton Maynard is there.
For a second night, thousands of the Queen's loyal subjects have filed past her coffin in Westminster Hall. The queue through central London is longer than 6 kilometres, with waits now of around 11 hours. Overnight in Parliament Square, some parts of Monday's state funeral have been rehearsed. Tonight, King Charles, the Princess Royal Anne and Princes Andrew and Edward will stand at the four corners of the coffin in a silent vigil. Before that, Charles completes his visit to all four countries of the UK with a trip to Wales. Prime Minister Anthony Albanese arrives in London late today. He'll begin official engagements tomorrow.
The Reserve Bank believes property prices are likely to drop by at least 10% over the short to medium term. Homeowners use record low interest rates to inflate the market over a number of years, but rising interest rates has seen many people abandon a property purchase. RBA Governor Philip Lowe has told a parliamentary committee while prices have come down, they're still higher than before the pandemic.
Prices went up 25% over the past 2 years. Very, very big increase. It would not surprise me, and this is not a forecast, but it would not surprise me if prices came down by a cumulative 10%. And even if they did that, they're still up 15% over 3 years.
A young family at Moana had a lucky escape when a strong wind gust tipped over their caravan. Firefighters used ladders to rescue a mother, her 2 young children and their pet dog. They weren't injured, but about $5,000 damage has been caused to the caravan. This man's told Seven he's never seen anything like it.
It was just like a bomb had gone off. All the bins went everywhere and there was a hell of a noise, and next thing I know is one of the vans had gone over, but I've never heard anything like that.
New figures show coastal drownings in South Australia increased in the past year. There were 9 deaths and all of them were male. Surf Lifesaving SA's Daniel Willett says 33% occurred during attempts to rescue someone else.
We do ask people to take a moment to look around, ask for help, send for help, and look for some flotation devices that might assist yourself or the person in trouble, because what sometimes happens in these cases is that the rescuer themselves actually is the person that perishes.
The National Police in Ukraine say they've found evidence of mass graves around the recently liberated city of Izium, which had been under Russian occupation for 5 months. More than 400 bodies are believed to have been buried. Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky highlighted the discovery during his nightly address.
We want the world to know what's really happening and what the Russian occupation has led to. Bucha, Mariupol, now, unfortunately, Izium. Russia leaves death everywhere, and it must be held accountable for that. The world must hold Russia to real account for this war. We'll do everything for this.
A translation from the BBC. Now turning to 5AA sport, Australian tennis great Leighton Hewitt has declared Roger Federer the greatest player of a generation after he announced his retirement.
My kind of era, I guess, and we were the same age, we grew up together in junior, so I knew Roger extremely well and probably saw him slightly different to everyone else as well because we grew up together, but he was the greatest of that time.
Federer will play one more tournament, next week's Labour Cup in London. Sydney coach John Longmire admits Josh Kennedy was almost no chance of playing again this year, even before his latest hamstring injury. The Swans have named an unchanged lineup for tomorrow's prelim final against the Magpies at the SCG. Longmire says Kennedy hurt himself while pushing for selection.
He was an absolute long shot anyway. He was really almost no chance of making it back before the end of the season, and he felt a tweak in his hamstring on Saturday, so it was always an opportunity for that to happen, so it happened and he's into retirement.
And wins for Manchester United and West Ham in the Europa League this morning. Now checking 5AA traffic.
Wet and blustery in a few areas on the drive home, so do look out for those conditions and take it easy. Dry Creek, you'll find urgent sewer works, Cormac Road near Magazine Road. Evanston South, we've got a burst water main slowing things up, Main North Road near Hales Road. Fairview Park, urgent gas works there, Yatlavar Road near Hancock Road, that's slow going at the moment. Quite busy, so Donald Brabbert Drive at South Road, and look out for a camera at Jetty Road at Larks Bay. At the 40 Weeks famous 40-hour sale, get up to 40% off big brand mattresses and more. Ends Sunday. Exclusions and T&Cs apply. 40 Weeks, serious about sleep. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
Now the 5AA forecast. Showers this afternoon, showers easing later tomorrow, 16. Sunday showers developing, 16, and Monday partly cloudy and 18. Right now it's 14 degrees. Now let's hear what's happening on 9 News Tonight.
The moment wind flipped a caravan at Moana, trapping a family inside. We reveal Adelaide's most dangerous intersections. The push to put paracetamol behind the counter. 2 Collingwood players in a road crash close call. Panda breeding time. Will it succeed? And Prince William tells how the Queen's procession brought back memories of his mum. I'm Brenton Raglis. Join us for the full story on 9 News tonight at 6.
Jade Robran on 1395, Adelaide's 5AA.
Welcome back to Afternoons. I would love to give a ticket away, please, to Ticket to Paradise. It opened in cinemas yesterday, starring George Clooney and Julia Roberts. If you could give 8223 0055 a buzz, and the fifth caller through wins the double pass.
The 5AA Food and Wine Show with Chris Jarma from Jarma's Kitchen. Thanks to Smeg.
Good afternoon to you, Mr. Jarma. How's tricks today?
Good afternoon, Jade. Yeah, really good. Really.
Excellent. Now, you got a little story to tell me about Ticket to Paradise.
Oh, yes, Ticket to Paradise. So last year when I was up in Hamilton Island, they were filming the movie with George Clooney and Julia Roberts.
Oh, cool.
And so we were in a boat over there as well, and we tried to go to where they were filming, but we were stopped by the water police, and they said we couldn't go any further to where they were shooting it, because I think the movie's based in Bali.
I was just going to say, I thought it was based in Bali.
But because of COVID, they used a lot of the Whitsundays for some of the scenes, yeah. So I reckon with that dolphin scene and that would definitely be the Whitsundays, yeah.
Oh, you'll have to go and see it.
Definitely.
Call in now, 8223 0055. Quickly get on your mobile. And what are we cooking today?
Okay, so today is a family favourite in the Jarma household. The recipe, I have to say, helped or developed. If I say I developed the recipe, my wife's going to yell at me.
Okay.
Linda is a big part of this recipe, so she makes these often with the kids, and it's something
Pork and chive dumplings.
Yeah, so everyone loves dumplings.
Yeah.
Or these are like gyozas. I use the gyoza wrapper, which is the Japanese Korean version. Otherwise, you can get the yellow.
More the Chinese
sumai dumplings, like
Yes.
little dim sims. There's so many different types of dumplings you can make, and this particular recipe, which is a pork mince, and it's just a simple pork chive, basically 3 or 4 ingredients in there, really easy to make. You buy the wrappers, so I'm using the white gyoza wrappers.
Beautiful.
I meant to bring the packet in, but
Just hold them up for the camera. So if you'd like to tune in on either Facebook or YouTube, you can follow along for the Smeg
so
Food and Wine
it's
Show.
a thin white pastry. I'm not
You
sure.
don't have to cut them up. But do they come like that?
They come like that. You just separate them. But with the pork mix, if you don't want pork, you can use chicken. Probably want to use chicken with a little bit of fat, so not just chicken breast. So if you've got some sort of fat in there, it'll make them not as dry.
Would you not just get chicken mince?
Yeah, chicken mince. Actually, you just buy chicken mince from the supermarket.
Okay.
So all we want is chives, fresh grated ginger.
I've just introduced my kids to these because I love dumplings, and thankfully they love them too.
Yeah,
So
look,
it's a winner. It's a good family feed.
Some little bit of sesame oil.
And if you'd like
Tablespoon
to
of soy.
jump online onto our website, under shows, click on Jade Robran, you'll find the recipe so you can follow along.
Some pepper and a little bit of salt.
So white pepper or...
White or black pepper. I
Does it
mainly
matter?
use black pepper in everything. But I know in a lot of Asian cookery, in Chinese especially, they use a lot of white pepper as well. So now I just want to give this a really good mix. If you've got some gloves and you want to get in there with your hands, but you just want to make sure you combine that really well.
That smells so good, Chris.
Oh, the ginger and the sesame oil with a little bit of the soy sauce.
So have you used ginger out of a jar or do you use fresh ginger?
Freshly grated ginger, yeah,
Okay.
definitely.
And light soy? I went to the supermarket the other day and there was about 20 different soys,
Yeah,
and
you
that
can
was
use-
overwhelming.
Yeah, light soy is fine, or any sort of kikkoman soy that you would use for dipping your sashimi or sushi in.
Okay.
Yeah, you don't want the dark soy.
Right. What do you use dark soy for?
A lot of
Dim
the
sims.
Asian Chinese style braisers, they put a lot of, when they're making like soy slow cooked ribs and things like that, they use dark soy and things like that.
But for dipping, it's light soy.
Dipping, you want a light soy, and I use, although the gyoza wrappers, I'm not 100% sure if they are gluten-free, but I think you can get some gluten-free wrappers, but I use gluten-free soy sauce in the restaurant all the time.
Okay.
So we've got our mix all mixed up like that.
Yum.
And then what I normally do at work on a board, we would lay out.
That's had Pembo's grotty fingers sitting there all morning. I'm not sure whether it's been wiped down.
I wiped it, yeah.
Oh, you wiped it down. He would be so into these two, by the way.
Lay out.
Were these on the menu for the footy lunch, the FIVEAA footy lunch
No,
yesterday?
but I did base the menu around nearly a lot of recipes that we've already done.
I loved that.
So, yeah, and we did the slow-cooked lamb shoulder, and they love that.
That's one of the favourites.
And I did the
meatballs, the pork meatballs you made.
Yeah.
They've been a big favourite with our listeners because you can use them with so many different ways.
I served them yesterday just on their own, and then we did the ricotta dumplings as well.
Yeah, lovely, with the gorgonzola sauce.
I was going to do the Chateaubriand, but I did Scotch fillet.
So where did this all come about? How did you and your wife stumble across this recipe?
I think, like, the kids love dumplings. Like, we live in the western suburbs, but we used to drive, the kids would say, drive all the way to Burnside Village. There's a place called the Shanghai Tea House there.
Yeah.
And for some reason, Charlotte, the dumplings and Tommy, they'd want to go there all the time.
They were the best.
But now there's a new place open on Tapley's Hill Road called Moon Dumplings near us. Otherwise, there's plenty of places in the city that do the pot sticker type ones where the whole thing has that coating on the bottom of the pan.
They're
so
really
good. So
they're very fashionable at the moment, dumplings.
Yeah, and look, you could some fine dining restaurants they'll do Wagyu beef dumplings.
Fancy.
You know, we do.
Which you could do with these anyway, couldn't you?
Yeah, same wrapper. We do prawn dumplings. Actually, with this wrapper as well, what I did yesterday for the lunch, if you deep fry these, they go crispy. Mm-hmm. And I did a little tuna tartare taco. Because when I was in Melbourne last, I've always been trying to make these little tiny tacos they make at Nobu.
Yes.
And I sat at the sushi bar, and there was, out of all the chefs, there was this one, like, Australian guy, and he was second in charge, and all the rest are, like, Korean, Japanese. And I spent the whole night talking to him about how they make certain things. I said, you have to tell me how you do those tuna taco wrappers.
And he told you.
And he goes, we just use the gyoza
You're kidding.
wrappers. And so you need one of those little taco clamps that you can buy at the Mexican shop that David loves on McGill Road, Chili Mojo. Yeah, and you put the gyoza in the wrap, and then you stick it in some oil, deep fry it, and it goes crispy.
And that's how they do it.
Yeah, so that many uses. Okay.
So you've popped a little bit of the filling inside, which would be a very small little a tablespoon.
Teaspoon that would be.
Teaspoon, okay.
And what I've got in this bowl here, I've got some corn flour and some water just to make a little slurry.
Yep.
And then we just want it with a brush or your finger, just on one side of the gyoza wrapper, you put that mixture, tuck that down there, and then...
Now, this is the part where they can look fancy or not so much.
Look, you can leave them like that, but then you want to crimp, so fold, crimp, fold, crimp, fold, crimp, fold, crimp, fold, crimp, and then you flatten the bottom like that.
Oh, they look so pretty. This is reminding me of that Crazy Rich Asians movie, you know, where they all sit
make
around
them
the
with
table.
the grandma,
They
yeah.
do, and it's such
Definitely.
a family tradition, which it would be in so many households.
Yeah, so
easy.
we have the kids sit around the table, we get the mixture all ready, and then you can all get involved, and look, you'll end up with some different shaped dumplings.
Doesn't matter as long as they taste good.
Yeah.
So fold, crimp, fold, crimp.
You can get this little plastic gadget that they sell in some like homeware stores, or even if you go to the Asian grocer, and you basically put the wrapper in there and just fold it over and it crimps it for you.
No, that's not
I've
that
seen them
hard.
online on Facebook and Instagram.
And those online shopping.
Yeah, but they're actually...
So talk to me about the sauce, because you've got a dipping sauce there that I can see.
So I'm making a lot of the dumpling sauce. They put a bit of black vinegar in with, and it's just black vinegar, Chinese black vinegar, soy sauce, a little bit of sesame oil, and a little bit of freshly grated ginger again, just to give it that little bite.
And then if you wanted to make it a little bit spicy, would you just chop up some, red chilies?
Some people put fresh bird's eye chili in there if you want a bit of heat. Otherwise, you can always throw a little bit of sriracha in there if you like the sriracha as well.
what if you don't have Chinese black vinegar? Can you use normal vinegar, or is it that's really part of the recipe?
The black vinegar does have a little slightly different taste. You probably could throw a little bit of red wine vinegar. Okay. It would be similar to a red wine vinegar, not so much a white vinegar.
Now, I think it all comes down now. You've made them look very, very pretty, but cooking them, because if you overcook or undercook, then it's all wrong.
So I'm using an electric frying pan today.
Yes.
But you can, any good non-stick pan with a lid that fits perfectly. Okay. So what you want to do is put a little bit of, I'll put these here, a little bit of oil in the base of the pan,
Now, obviously not olive oil.
Not olive oil, just a bit of vegetable oil or peanut oil if there's no allergies. Mm-hmm. And I normally put just a dot of bit of sesame oil to get some flavour happening as well.
Nice, good idea.
Then place all the dumplings in the bottom of the pan until they start to go crispy and golden brown on the bottom.
Yeah.
Once you've achieved your colour, then it's just a matter of half a cup of water, depending on the quantity you're making. Mm-hmm. Half a cup of water, turn the heat down a little bit, and put the lid on the pan. And in about 10 minutes, all those dumplings will be cooked.
Okay. So that's the key, isn't it?
Yep.
Cooking them further.
Yeah, and then you want to keep cooking them till the water goes away again, and then you'll end up with a crispy base.
Perfect. Nice.
So the steam underneath that lid is what cooks the wrapper and cooks the pork, and there's not a lot in them, so they're not big and fat, so they'll cook. The pork will cook through quite quick.
And you've prepared some.
And then we take the lid off.
Delicious.
And
because I would have probably just fried them and thought, oh yeah, that's all you need to do, but then you just need to finish them off with a boil.
Yeah, so we don't need to turn them. I'm just going to turn some of them over so you can see the colour.
Nice. So just before they burn, basically.
Yeah. Golden brown.
Golden brown.
And then just...
How many of these have you eaten in a sitting?
I reckon I could eat about 20 of them.
Yeah, I reckon you could too. They look that
My
good.
son Tommy, he smashes through them.
Hey, did he win his final?
No, they lost, yeah.
Bugger. How's his injury?
Yeah, he's all right. Yeah, he's good.
He's got a season to recover. And what has Sip and Save paired for today?
So, nice with pork. We have a Coldstream Hills Yarra Valley Pinot, and everyone that knows me knows I love a Pinot.
Definitely
and
from
so
Coldstream.
I just tried this before.
Mm-hmm.
And it's delicious.
Nice.
Now you want to try one? Can you handle chopsticks?
Of course. As I say that, one will go flying all over the studio. Thank you. As he passes it through. Nice, okay. And the chopsticks.
Yeah, and like we said before, something, get the family involved. You can mix up the mixture. You can even make vegetarian ones if you don't want meat in them.
Yeah, so how would you do that? What would you throw in?
Oh, definitely mushroom. Like chopped up mushroom. Even with water chestnuts, they put sometimes in them.
Oh my gosh, Chris, they are the best. My most favourite are the ones at Crown in Melbourne.
Yeah.
And these top that.
Oh wow, cool.
They are so delicious.
And really, yum. And so easy to make. So do not be afraid to make them. Just if you've got those wrappers, and then get the temperature right on that pan. And,
voila, you're away.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much. That was the SMEG Food and Wine Show. Chris Jarmer joining us. And if you would like to jump onto our website and follow us along and get that recipe, because it was really, really basic to make. So thank you so much, Chris. That was the Chris Jarmer for the FIVEAA Food and Wine Show. Thanks to SMEG. Building or renovating, your first choice should be visiting the SMEG showroom at Debney Distributors. Taste the difference with SMEG.
Ever paid $30 for a schnitty? You've probably paid garnish tax. All those little alfalfa sprouts, parsley sprigs, the nonsense you push to the side, you're paying for it. Sure, it looks pretty, but there's nothing like a simple, hearty meal the way you know and love without garnish tax. 722 are cooking classics for just $14.90. Monday to Friday, lunch and dinner. Simple, tasty, $14.90. For a bar and bistro the way it's meant to be, visit 722 Port Road, Beverley.
Get the latest kitchen and bathroom brands at Adelaide Bathroom and Kitchen Supplies. The ABK Supplies showroom has just been updated to showcase sinkware for all budgets, including Oliveri, Abbey, Mir, Castano, BUK and classic durable fine fire clay sinks from 1901 and Turner Hastings. With finishes in polished and brushed stainless steel, brushed nickel, bronze and many other finishes, your kitchen or laundry will be stylish and timeless. Adelaide Bathroom and Kitchen Supplies, Lower North East Road, opposite Dernancourt Village.
If you're thinking of building or you're renovating your kitchen, you have a lot of choices to make, but the first choice should be Smeg. We have an amazing Smeg showroom right here in Adelaide. Debney Distributors is in Dudley Park, and inside you'll find the small, full Smeg range on display. Definitely not small. It is full Smeg range on display. With everything from ovens, cooktops, dishwashers and refrigerators to wine cellars, kettles, toasters and more. Smeg seamlessly pairs powerful performance with architectural design. There are even cooking demonstrations. You really can taste the difference with Smeg. Smeg has been proudly made in Italy since 1948. And their colour, design and technology is world famous. Smeg technology with style. Visit the Smeg showroom today at Debney Distributors, Harrison Road in Dudley Park.
Oh, meat with a handle.
Oh, it's chicken drumsticks. Now only $5.99 for 2 kilos from Aldi.
It's meat with a handle.
It's drumsticks.
Okay, drumsticks. Classic.
Aldi, good, different.
You don't just do a good barbie, you're the tong master. You're not flipping snags, you're the backyard hospitality director. So you deserve the very best outdoor kitchen from Adelaide Outdoor Kitchens. Choose from the best appliances, add a bar fridge or pizza oven, or stun your guests with one of our custom-made concrete bench tops. We do outdoor ones and indoor ones too. Get a quote today and you can be entertaining before summer. The best backyard hospitality directors choose Adelaide Outdoor Kitchens. Go to adelaideoutdoorkitchens.com.au.
I think the great thing about retirement living is you get the opportunity to meet a lot of people with similar life experiences.
We don't have financial worries. We are really enjoying our life together.
I love the feeling of being able to do whatever I want, whenever I want.
For many people who make the move to an FIVEAA retirement community, it's time to look forward to a fresh new chapter. What will you look forward to? Search FIVEAA First Step for your free First Step guide.
Jade Robran, Talking Adelaide on 1395 5AA.
Welcome back to Afternoons. It's 25 minutes past 3 o'clock now. Tasting Australia have got the Spirit Awards. It is presented by Mastercast going on, and we're joined now by Head Judge Ollie Morgan. Ollie, welcome to the show. Good afternoon.
Hi there. How are you?
I'm excellent. Now, Spirit Awards. This must be a tough gig you've got.
Yeah, someone's going to do it, I suppose. No, it's a wonderful thing to be involved in.
So tell us, what awards are up for grabs, and does South Australia have a big contingency? Because we're pretty good at making a few gins and vodkas, I reckon.
We certainly are. So I mean, generally everything's separated into classes based on the type of spirit, and we've got awards specific to those. There's also the Premier's Award, which is for the best South Australian gin, which I'm particularly excited about.
What do you look for when you're tasting?
Well, it really, I guess it kind of depends. But I suppose what we're looking for is, really, really interesting expressions that sort of marry, I guess, native Australian influence, classic influence, products of innovation, that sort of thing.
And have there been many entrants?
Yeah, so this is actually the biggest amount of entries that we've seen within the competition. So I think we ended up at about 330 entries total from around Australia, which is fantastic.
And so when will winners be announced?
The winners are going to be announced in about 10 minutes. I'm actually just at the presentation now.
Oh, hot off the press. Can you leak anything? I promise I won't tell anyone.
Unfortunately, I can't at this stage, but I can tell you that the winning products were really fantastic this year.
Winning an award like this, how can that change somebody's business?
Well, I mean, there's been a huge amount of growth in the Australian spirits scene over the last sort of 5 to 10 years. And so I guess, it can really help to give you a bit of a leg up on the competition.
Talk to me about South Australia, because you just said, we've got a lot of entrants in the gin and vodka space. What makes South Australia's climate, or is it not relevant to climate? Why are we doing it? Why are we so strong in that space here?
Well, I mean, there's a few things, and if you look at the history of Australian spirits, things like brandy has a really rich history in South Australia specifically, and in a more contemporary space, from a gin perspective, we have the ability to grow some amazing produce and a really diverse amount of produce, and that's really quite crucial to making interesting and quality gin.
The rum is also getting bigger and bigger, isn't it?
It certainly is. I mean, again, another one that has a long cultural history in Australia, but we're seeing sort of a lot of growth in the more boutique, more crafted product space.
And when you talk about gin, no longer it's just the the white spirit. You're now seeing it with Shiraz or a little bit of this or that. I mean, is that what you look for as well? New flavours and creativity.
Yeah, and I mean, so we have a class for the Innovation Award, and that's exactly that, to identify products that are really pushing the envelope and really breaking outside of the classical framework for these categories.
Well, Ollie, very, very good luck to all the entrants, and we hope South Australia comes in strong. Maybe flick us through a text message and I can update our listeners in about 10 minutes' time if SA does well.
No worries at all. Thank you very much.
Thank you. That is Ollie Margan, the head judge at Tasting Australia Spirit Awards that's taking place right now as we speak. I do love a good gin, so I hope that a couple of our companies here in South Australia do really well. KI Gin is one. There's a couple up in the Adelaide Hills too, isn't there? A few messages to read out. Hi, Jade. Just a call out to those flying the flag at half-mast. It's been wonderful to see such respect. But just out and about the past couple of days, some have slipped down a bit low, probably due to the wild weather. Perhaps, Catherine, that is the case, but at least they're down and not fully up. People are out there, showing their respects. And a couple of messages coming through in regards to bank closures. We had a lovely lady called Anne call in, and a few of you have messaged in to say, could you please let Anne know that she has concerns about going to the bank now as there are more closing, more stores. Does she know that you can withdraw money from supermarkets? And another person has called in saying that you can use bank at post services at post offices as well. That is probably why a lot of the banks are closing. Levi from Flagstaff Hill. I didn't actually know that you could use the bank at the post, so that's a new one. We're going to take a short break. Coming up afterwards, new details surrounding the Queen's funeral have been released, so we will head to London to report in with our royal correspondent Natalie Oliveri.
This is Adelaide's FIVEAA.
Good afternoon, I'm Michaela Kamarek. The Queen's 4 children will conduct a vigil around her coffin later today in London. Wild winds blew over a caravan at the Moana Tourist Park this morning, trapping a family inside. The Reserve Bank says there will be further interest rate rises, but the size of the hike will depend on economic data. And the AFL prelim finals begin tonight with Geelong hosting Brisbane at the MCG. Showers this afternoon and continuing tomorrow, 16. Currently it's 14 degrees. More news at 4 o'clock and as it happens on 5AA.
Get ready, footy fans. We've got your tickets to go to the big dance to be there at the G for the 2022 Toyota AFL Grand Final.
You could win yourself flights and accommodation plus 2 tickets to that one day in September.
All you need to do is grab a copy of the Tizer each day this week, grab the daily code word and register on the win page at 5AA.com.au.
Then tune into myself and Timmy G each night from 4 p.m for your chance to win.
These are the hottest tickets in town, so keep it on FIVEAA.
AFL authorised GF promotion, GFL 22/128.
During winter, your immune system is important to help fight colds and flu. So try Arbor Vitae supplements to help support the health and function of your immune system. Arbor Vitae comprises potent natural anti-inflammatory and antioxidant ingredients that can support and offer relief to a range of ailments. Arbor Vitae supplements may also help maintain healthy blood glucose and cholesterol and support cognitive function, eye health and immune function. Arbor Vitae can be bought over the counter at chemists and health food stores all across South Australia. For the list of stockists, visit arborvitae.com.au. That's ARBORVITAE.com.au.
Your immune system needs all the help it can get to fight cold and flu, so look for Arbor Vitae today. You can call an order on 1300 879 863 or check out the Facebook page and see firsthand what people have to say about the benefits of Arbor Vitae. Always read the label and follow the directions for use.
Bring the stadium home this footy final season at Harvey Norman. Samsung 65-inch Neo QLED TV, just $2,795 and save $500. Save $200 on the Samsung 5.0 channel all-in-one soundbar, only $395. Get match fit with Theragun Prime percussive massager, only $349. Halftime drinks sorted with the LG InstaView French door fridge with craft ice, $4,699 plus bonus wine. Bring the stadium home this footy final season at Harvey Norman.
Uncle Mark, geez, he was a character.
He was larger than life. Remember that bright yellow Holden of his?
The HQ GTS, great car, when it was running.
Yeah.
And those fishing stories you'd tell up the river.
And did you notice that the one that got away got bigger every year?
On the bright side, I'll finally get my trailer back. The bugger's had it for 6 months.
To Uncle Mark, one of a kind.
A unique life deserves a distinctive funeral. distinctivefunerals.com.au.
If you need a window, and not just anything will do, just call Statesman Windows, factory direct to you.
Nobody beats Statesman Windows, not on quality and certainly not on service. Windows, sliding doors, bifolds and more, made right here in Adelaide, factory direct to you. For windows when and where you want them, call Statesman Windows, states.com.au.
Windows when and where you want them. Windows when and where you want them.
The cost of living is still going up, so the Albion Hotel is doing something about it with a palmy and pint for just $20. Available every day from 12 p.m. Choose a chicken or beef palmy served with hot chips and choice of salad or veg, plus any trackside pint on tap for $20. Bet you didn't think $20 could stretch that far. Only available in the trackside bar at the Albion from 12 p.m. daily with a palmy and pint for just $20. You just know it's a Barreau Hotel. T's and C's apply.
$13.95, Adelaide's FIVEAA. This is Jade Robran.
Welcome back to Afternoons. It's 25 minutes to 4 o'clock. In just a short moment, we're going to head to London for an update on the Queen's funeral timetable. New details have been released, but before we do so, footy finals, Timmy G. They're in the air.
It's exciting, very exciting. Of course, the two big prelims, one starts tonight, one on Saturday. We've got the Sample Grand Final on Sunday. There's still a lot of grand finals and country grand finals happening as well. Southern League, Great Southern League,
Under
yet to be
16s
decided.
and 18s tonight.
16s, 18s tonight. So I think there's maybe the 14s and 16 women's as well playing. So yeah, all sorts of grand finals going on. But I'll tell you what we've got tonight. We've actually got the grand final. All week we've been promoting. We got grand final tickets.
Yeah.
There's a last chance to enter tonight, and then we give it away. We give it away tonight, so you've got to be listening. It's going to be very exciting.
That is very exciting.
Oh, yeah. Some people may not have ever been, so this could be the big moment to do it. And there's been a lot of people say, oh, I haven't been since this time, I haven't been since that time.
Yeah.
And
so true.
It's going to be great. So,
well, first one back at the G in a while.
Well, that's right, that's right. Hey, what about the big news at Alberton?
I know.
Josh Carr is back.
I know. I love Josh Carr.
Well, I tell you what, I would just suit him up for every showdown because he's never lost one. He played in 10 and won 10.
Oh, man, you would
It's
not have
incredible.
wanted him on you, would you?
No.
He was just like a chihuahua.
Oh, yeah,
At
exactly.
you the whole time.
Yeah. He did break a few. I think got under the skin a couple of
I think
times.
so,
Yes.
especially afterwards at the Rams game.
Well, I think that's where it all sort of came to a head, actually. That misunderstanding.
Of course, always a misunderstanding. Who do you like tonight?
Yeah, well, look, everybody's probably thinking that it could be Collingwood Geelong, and I know probably in Melbourne they would love it to be Collingwood and
Wouldn't
Geelong.
they just? Imagine
I'm thinking that Sydney might upset the apple cart.
Yeah, me too.
But I'm also thinking Brisbane might be able to upset the
Me
apple cart.
too.
So I'm thinking a crazy interstate Sydney-Brisbane grand final, which will make the AFL go off their chops.
imagine?
They won't
Move
like
it
that
to
at
the
all.
SCG.
Yeah,
will
that'd go
go
down
off
well, wouldn't it?
their
Gee whiz.
chops.
So yeah, they'll both be tough finals. The thing about Brisbane, and I reckon a couple of years ago, they got to a prelim in Brisbane and they thought it was all sort of going to happen and they got wiped out. I think they've learned a few lessons over the last couple of years of dropping out. There's a more steely resolve about them. They didn't finish in the top 4. They've had to earn their way through to this prelim. They're playing a red-hot Geelong. They've won 14 in a row.
Yeah.
So, no mean feat. But you've got them in an opportunity where they've played one game in 4 weeks. This is a real good opportunity to show how finals hardened you are and take it up to them real early and get them in a vulnerable position. So
Well, they're up and about.
the thing about Collingwood is they're almost irrepressible to watch. They're fantastic to enjoy the way they play. They move it very quickly. They're exciting. They got a lot of X factor on every line. It's whether Sydney can hold them out with their grit. Their defence is fantastic, Sydney. They do have people who can score, but it's gonna be a tough ask. But who knows?
I wonder where they put Buddy.
Yeah.
Where would you play Buddy?
Look, it's funny because I remember hearing Hawthorn in, I think it was the last time they won a flag might have been before he went to Sydney. And I reckon it might have been 2014 that he left. 2013. That's right. They played him on a wing. And
It's
it was
not fast enough to go there now.
Yeah, probably not. But it's interesting to play him not in the right spot. Sorry, the common spot.
to throw the
yes, and you
Throw him
go,
out
he's
a
up
bit.
on a high half forward. Why is that? Which he wouldn't mind, and that's the sort of thing you can do. Look, I don't think
Because
there's
up
too
forward
many.
on May, that did not work for him at all, and they had to move him.
But Stephen
But
May's one of the best in the
He
business.
is, and that
There's not many like
you're
that.
right. And well, anyway, look, you've got to talk more about this on your own show.
Yeah, good call.
But
All right.
quickly, who do you like in the SANFL?
I reckon it's going to be a very, very good grand final. Roosters just, I reckon. Yeah.
We're same with everything. Good
Well,
luck
there you
to
go.
us.
Yeah.
Okay.
I even like the dumplings you were eating.
Leave one for me, please. Too
late.
Thank you so much. Let's go to London now, where we're joined by our royal correspondent, Natalie Oliveri for 9 Honey. Natalie, thanks so much for joining us. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Jade. How are you today?
I'm good. You've been out and about extremely busy, and there's been a release that they've released more details for the Queen's funeral timetable. What can you tell us?
Yeah, certainly. Look, we've seen rehearsals overnight as well. It is just such a spectacle. We know that the Queen's funeral will begin at 11 a.m. It'll then go for around an hour. Interestingly, for me, we know that King Charles and his siblings are going to be taking vigils tonight, my time, around her coffin. But then also her grandsons, Prince Harry and Prince William, will also be taking up their own vigil just hours before that funeral on Saturday night. And we also know that for that particular moment, Prince Harry will be able to wear his military uniform. Now, that's been quite a controversial issue, especially here the past few days. But look, for Her Majesty's actual funeral on the Monday, many roads are going to be closed. We're going to see the cortege again make a procession through the streets of London. It's going to go past Buckingham Palace again, but won't go inside. That's going to take quite some time. We know that flights across the city have been cancelled to ensure absolute silence during that procession. And we also know that after the funeral, it's going to make its way to Windsor Castle. Now, that route has not been determined or has not been released publicly as yet. But look, thousands, hundreds of thousands of people around the city are wanting to be able to say their final goodbye, and Monday is really going to be the ultimate chance for everyone, especially because this funeral procession is going to take place over so many locations. It's going to be incredibly special.
We're hearing that the King is to visit Wales before the vigil, is that right?
Yes, so that is happening today, my time. King Charles and Camilla, the Queen Consort, will be in Wales carrying out a series of engagements. They have been embarking on this tour of the UK since the Queen's death, and that is all under protocol. So this is their last visit today, their last stop. And you'd have to imagine it's been an incredibly busy week for him. It has now been a week and a day since the Queen died, and he really hasn't had a rest. Yesterday we could see him take a little bit of time out, but, you know, he was still receiving official calls, so he was still working, but I guess it was a chance for him to step away from the public for a moment. But certainly he will be out again today, and we're also learning that Camilla has been powering through. She's had a bit of a broken toe throughout all of this, so I guess good on her for soldiering on. You wouldn't know that she's been in quite a lot of pain throughout this week, because she's been on her feet quite a lot.
Oh, wow.
Gosh. Yeah, I read that this morning, the poor thing.
Oh, it really hurt. And you've been getting quite up close to a royal as well. Talk to us about your experience.
Yes, I had a lovely day in Sandringham yesterday, and I say lovely because although it's such a sad occasion, so many people here are really celebrating the Queen's life. There's not a whole lot of tears. It's more people talking about just how amazing she was and all the good things that she did for the UK and the Commonwealth. So the Prince and Princess of Wales, Prince William and Catherine, travelled to Sandringham House yesterday. Now, Sandringham is where the royal family has for many years spent Christmas. It's where you see them walking to church on Christmas Day and meeting people there. Mm-hmm. Now, William and Kate went to the gates of the estate where, oh gosh, thousands of floral bouquets have been left. And they spent about half an hour, possibly even an hour. I was in the crowd the whole time, and they just walked up and down, speaking to people, hearing their stories, reading the cards, shaking people's hands, and really just wanting to say thank you, because most of these people in this crowd were locals. They were neighbours. Many had seen the Queen driving around in her car over the years, which would have been incredibly strange, I could imagine. So it was really a time for them to say thank you and to say goodbye, because a lot of them can't come to the capital. London is so busy, and getting in and out of here is quite a challenge at the moment. But look, certainly seeing Catherine, I was very, very close to her, and someone asked her how she doesn't cry when she reads all these floral tributes and messages to the Queen, and she said, well, she actually does. Her eyes well up, and even on that particular day, she had made a comment to William just how amazing some of the letters and the poetry were from children up to adults, and they're incredibly touched by it. So, and then another person asked how the children are doing, because we know George, Charlotte and Louis only started school a week ago, and she said that they were being very well looked after, and it was good having them in a routine. So you can see that video up on 9honey.com.au. It's absolutely amazing, and I was thinking to myself, I couldn't believe just how close I was able to get to her. And Jade, she's as beautiful in person as you would imagine.
Oh, that's nice to
hear. She was wearing a pair of the Queen's pearl and diamond earrings, which really did sparkle. She has been wearing jewellery from the Queen and Princess Diana over the years, but it's really nice to see her, I guess, putting these personal touches at the fore, because that's what a lot of people want to see.
Oh, that's so nice. I want to just quickly ask you before we let you go about the royal titles. We were seeing in the media that, you know, Meghan and Harry, they're furious about royal titles, blah, blah, blah. And then you read today that there will be no update on royal titles until after the mourning period. Gosh, that UK media, they're just vultures out to get them, aren't they?
Look, I think, one day the press seems to love Harry and Meghan and happy that they've come back and that they're taking part in as many ceremonial events as possible. Then the next day you hear, exactly what you just said. Look, we don't really have confirmation as yet. Under the rules, Harry and Meghan's children, Lilibet and Archie, are entitled to become Prince and Princess now that their grandfather is the monarch. When their grandmother was, that wasn't the case. But look, they certainly haven't accepted this as yet. The royal family's website still has them as master miss. And I think it's probably a nice thing that there is no major change. I guess for these some of lesser, those in the lower ranks of the royal family, until after this mourning period is over, we did see immediately that William and Kate were given the titles of Princess of Wales. I guess that's something different. Archie and Lilibet are much further down in the line of succession, so I do think it's a mark of respect to the Queen to sort of not be worrying about this at the moment. But really, Harry and Meghan, do they want these titles? We don't know. I mean, you may remember Meghan was very insistent on wanting her children to have protection when she spoke to Oprah, and the title of Prince was a big issue there for her. So perhaps this is something we're going to see in the next few weeks when things sort of calm down a little bit.
Natalie, thank you so much. We'll probably touch base on Monday, only hours our time ahead of the funeral. So thank you for talking to us all throughout the week, and all the best this weekend.
Thank you, Jade.
Thank you. That is Natalie Oliveri, and you can jump online to 9Honey to see her reports that she has done, and to her moment. There is a photo that she posted where Princess Catherine is looking right at her. They had a moment. I've just been handed the COVID-19 update. So remember, we're only getting them weekly now. So this week there were 3,631 new cases here. So current active cases, we've got 2,624. So still up there. We're going to take a short break. Coming up afterwards, what's on in this great state? What can we get up to this weekend? Tune in next.
I love being a fresh Aussie strawberry. I'm now only $1.79 for a 250 gram pack. And so tasty, I could eat myself. It's so painful, but so delicious. Aldi, good, different.
Oh, did you hear that? It's your flower seedling saying, "Don't forget the seesaw when you put us in the ground." Hang on, the tomatoes want to get a word in. You'll help us grow bigger and juicier if you give us seesaw more often. Oh, now here's the lettuce. Excuse me, let us say something. Your seedlings are trying to tell you, don't forget the seesaw for the best garden in the street at Bunnings Warehouse and all good hardware and garden centres.
Hi, Rory Sloan here for You Installer Kitchens. Are you starting a DIY renovation and need cabinetry quick? Then You Installer Kitchens is the DIY solution for you. Manufactured locally here in SA, You Install offers short lead times so you can get started on your project sooner. Custom sized and pre-assembled, saving you time and money. Visit a showroom, Modbury, Churchill Centre, Norwood, Glandore and Lonsdale, or visit the You Install website for online 3D design. You Install Kitchens, the complete DIY kitchen solution.
Look around your house and yard. If you see old tools, broken bike frames, an old fridge and even that old car, don't look at it as junk, look at it as dollar signs. At Nor Metals, our priority is to give you the best value for your scrap metal disposal. We offer cash for scrap Monday to Friday and Saturday mornings for a range of different steel supplies and car components, including bodies and radiators. Get cash for your scrap at Nor Metals, 255 Grand Junction Road, Ottaway.
The passing of someone close places unique stress on family and friends. At this time, Farrell and O'Neill Funerals are here to provide reassurance and peace of mind. Farrell and O'Neill offer creative guidance and advice to tailor a service that best honours your loved one. Whether a large gathering or a small, intimate service, Farrell and O'Neill share their generations of experience in tailoring a unique and meaningful farewell. Proudly SA family owned and operated, because it's personal.
What makes you curious? Curious minds change the world. The bright, curious minds at SAMRI are daring to ask brave questions and might just have the answers. SAMRI is where a nuclear physicist from Denmark can have coffee with a cancer researcher from Darwin to save the life of a mother from Darlington. And who knows what next? So get curious. Get into it at samri.org.au.
It's one hell of a ute, the LDV T60 Max 4x4 diesel with 160 kilowatts from just $34,990 for ABN holders. Visit a dealer today. LDV, bring it on. T's and C's and exclusions at ldvautomotive.com.au.
Jade Robran on 1395, Adelaide's 5AA.
Welcome back to Afternoons. It's 9 minutes till 4 o'clock, and then we've got the sports show with Rowie and Timmy G coming up next. They'll be talking footy finals actions. I love you guys. Come on, Jade, get in the bandwagon. Go Pies from Michelle. No, Michelle, no. And then Sue, Jade, you're going to hate me, but I'm on the Collingwood bandwagon. I can't stand Sydney after they decided to revert to being the South Melbourne Bloods to get Victorian supporters a few years back. And Collingwood's coach is a Lonsdale boy. I just wish their supporters would shut the hell up. Sue. Guys, I am Sydney through and through. That's the blood, the red and the white. It goes with North Adelaide. That is through my blood. So that is where my loyalty stands. However, if they bow out, maybe I could be convinced. We shall wait and see.
Out and about.
Out and about in SA.
Welcome to our segment Out and About, where each week we'll chat about all the fun things that you can do out and about in our great state. Kicking off with Bowden Brewing, introducing West Fest 2022. If you're a beer lover, then you'll love this one. 3 Adelaide Westside breweries. They're coming together on Saturday, well, tomorrow, for the ultimate craft beer event in the West. Bowden Brewing, Big Shed Brewing and Shapeshifter. They've all teamed up to showcase some of the best Adelaide has to offer. There'll be free hop-on, hop-off buses lopping between each brewery. About 50 beers up for grabs for you to taste. There'll be exclusive mega beer collab available on tap and for takeaway. Limited beer release from each brewery. An all-day live music program. There'll be food trucks, tuck shops at Shapelifter. There'll be a schnitzer, 1 kilogram schnitzels at Big Shed. You name it. So much going on. Festivities, they kick off at 12 p.m. and they'll continue to party on till late. So there's plenty of time to kick on. And on Saturday and Sunday, the market's in Prospect, 9 a.m. to 3 p.m, Vine Street Plaza in Prospect. Now, September is the start of spring, bringing warmer weather and the need to get out and about again, so it's perfect timing for markets in Prospect to come out of hibernation from the winter rest. Now, they're kicking off the weekend full of markets celebrating the new season on Saturday and Sunday. Markets galore, food and wine galore, music for the soul. You can browse through extensive ranges of handcrafted products, art and homewares showcasing throughout each stall, and handcrafted by SA's artisans, designers and local small businesses, which is always great. We do love to support local businesses. Another one is the Hasten the Cedars. Now, to tell us more about that, we're joined by the CEO of the Cedars, Tori Dixon-Whittle. Tori, welcome to the show. Tell us, what's this event all about?
Oh, Jade, thanks so much for welcoming me to the show. This is a festival of celebration of art, history, the garden and nature. Hans Huyssen was one of South Australia's greatest landscape painters. He lived from the late 1800s, 1877 to 1968, and his stunning estate, the Cedars, named after the Himalayan cedars in the garden, is 120 acres of beautiful bushland and artist garden, the original homestead where he and his wife Sally raised their 8 children, and his original artist studio, and his daughter Nora Huyssen, who was the first woman to win the Archibald Prize, her studio too. So on the 8th of October, we are having a day when we celebrate all that is the Cedars, the stunning garden, which will be full of spring roses then, over 300 of them. The surrounding bushland, we have music all day, we have artisan and makers stalls, food from local providers, a gin bar from Ambleside, and local Adelaide Hills wine too, Sidewood wine. So it's going to be a fabulous day, and people can bring a picnic lug and spend the whole day there. They can bring their kids because we're going to have a baby animal farm and lots of games for kids to play and acres and acres for them to run on. So really a day for everyone.
Amazing. Thank you so very much. And then if you're looking to fill your calendar on Sunday, Adelaide Showground Farmers Markets. Join us back home. They will be back at the Wayville Showgrounds and free entry. And of course, the SANFL Grand Final at North Adelaide Footy Club. You can join all the players at the Prospect Oval. after the grand final, regardless of the result, to celebrate the season. Now, kick-off is at 6:30 p.m. until 1 a.m. at Norwood. The Nord Footy Club, they'll also host a post-match event at Cooper Stadium following the conclusion of Sunday's grand final. That kicks off at 6 p.m. as well. And then the City to Bay Fun Run. If you're taking part in that, good luck to each and every one of you. Hope there's not too many blisters. I've also got some tickets to give away. Tom Burlinson in now. We're swinging at the Capri Theatre on Sunday, October 1. Book now, capri.org.au.
That's life.
If you call in now, 8223 0055, I have 2 double passes to go and see Tom play. Hey guys, thank you so much for a fantastic week yet again. Go Sydney, go North Adelaide. I hope your team wins. Have a fantastic and safe weekend. See you later.
Join 5AA each night from midnight for Australia Overnight.
Hi, it's Tony Moclair here, host of Australia Overnight. Thrilled and delighted, joined by listeners from 5AA, Adelaide's best radio station.
Tony Moclair takes your calls right through the early hours.